First of all, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? All right. Y'all could have more enthusiasm than that. This is actually a great day. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, just want to tell you the purpose that we're here today. This Black Lives Matter mural has served as so much of a profound statement for the East 93rd community that we've been getting visitors from as far as New York, all across the region. People have come back to the old neighborhood that they grew up in, that their parents live in. The gravity of this moment has just been so overwhelming that people have come here and you actually see people in tears someday. We wanted to come here to basically give you an update, to talk about next steps, as well as to just talk about what this means to this community and why we took the extraordinarily step to block off this street so that people could safely walk and experience this moment, because of how important it is. Before I go any further, I have to acknowledge my colleagues that came from far and wide to be here. Many of them actually share this corridor with me that the Elevate the East initiative will be done in. And I want to start out with Majority Leader, Phyllis Cleveland, my colleague Phyllis Cleveland. She actually used to be the councilperson for this area. My colleague Kenneth Johnson, who also used to shares this area, Councilman Kenneth Johnson. Councilman Kevin Bishop, whose ward is adjacent to ours to the south, Kevin Bishop. And then we have my colleague, Councilman Matt Zone, who came all the way over here from the Detroit Shoreway because he said he wanted to come over and experience this. And I think he rode his Vesper over. So he's out enjoying a great day in Cleveland today. And I do have to acknowledge Councilman Zone. I do have to acknowledge a Cleveland legend, and I'm just so proud that he's here. It is almost moving to me that we just have a person of his caliber that has come to see this, and that is Mr. Robert Madison, the famous Robert Madison. Mr. Robert Madison is the first African-American architect in the state of Ohio, certified, and his signature is on many of the buildings in this region, state, and all over this country. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Madison. World War II veteran. Mr. Ulysses said I can't miss that. The other thing that I do want to make sure that I mention is I have to acknowledge the residents that are here today. All of the East 93rd residents, raise your hand. Raise up, all right? Residents, businesses. I also want to make sure that I acknowledge the steering committee for the Elevate the East. I know that we're going to do that in a moment, but the steering committee, I have Marilyn Burns, if she could raise her hand. I have Myra Simmons. Where is, I know that Reverend Fields could not be here, he's not here right now. Sherelle Hardy is another member, and who am I missing from the steering committee? That's pretty much the leaders of the steering committee, and they work closely with 7th Hill, Sharita Mullins. They work closely with 7th Hill in order to put together the Elevate the East strategy. We couldn't do this without a partnership from a group of extraordinary people, and I do want to acknowledge Ricky Smith, who is the head of Reiki, which is Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere, as well as Stami Paul, who is with Graffiti Heart. And you're going to hear from Stami in a minute. They were the ones that convened and pulled together the hundreds of artists that came out here and deployed upon East 93rd last week. I do want to say this before I go, because I got to make a pitch for one of my businesses. Mo and the Sunoco gas station, if they could raise their hand. Mo? Let's give him a round of applause. Mo and his family have owned this business for approximately 7 or so years or more. They're very good business owners. I encourage everybody, because they've made a tremendous sacrifice to support this. I encourage everybody to do, if you don't do anything else, come buy something from his store, come get a full tank of gas, come support our business owners, because he sacrificed this because he knows how much this has meant to the community, and him and his family have been very patient. So I'd like to thank you personally, Mo. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
all right?
Mo.
Thank you. All right. With that being said, I'll have closing remarks at the end of the program, but I'll be followed by Stami Paul, who was with Graffiti Heart, who led this, and then she's going to bring up Joy Johnson, and then we have a couple of other residents that will be speaking, and then we'll move to Pastor Washburn, and then end the day. Before we go any further, I do see my council president trotting up the street now, so I want to acknowledge Council President Kevin Kelly. And I just want to acknowledge everybody in the city of Cleveland. This has meant so much to us. So if he could join us, but I'm going to bring up at this time Stami Paul. Miss Paul.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, everybody. I'll keep this brief. Stami Paul with Graffiti Heart. It was about June 9th or 10th, I think, when I reached out to a few people, including some colleagues and friends in the city of Cleveland, to find out what Graffiti Heart, what I personally can do to help leverage the Black Lives Matter movement and help the people in my life and the people that I haven't met yet. And ultimately, a mutual friend of Ricky Smith and mine brought us together. And because of our relationships and contacts with the many artists in and around Cleveland, black, brown, white artists came together and had a platform here on East 93rd. You know, initially it was, how do we get a mural, Black Lives Matter, downtown Cleveland? But I'm so thankful that this is where that mural ended up. There's more heart and stories and friendships that have been evolved through this project, not only artists with artists, but community members and family members that have been lost to tragedy. Those stories continue to come up and permeate. It's fully enriched my life, and on behalf of Graffiti Heart, I love all of those in this community, and you're my neighbor, and you're my family, so thank you for allowing Graffiti Heart and myself to be a part of this. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Heard a colleague say that art speaks when words can't, and I think that this mural does just that. And in our community, many times, we will speak through art, whether it's a teddy bear memorial, whether it's graffiti, or whether it's something beautiful and orchestrated like this. And so we are excited to be a part of this and happy to take it to the next step. As the councilman said, my name is Joy Johnson. I'm the Executive Director Interim for Burton Bell Car Development. We are the nonprofit community development corporation that serves this neighborhood along with Kinsman, Central, and Buckeye. And around this time last year, we started on a process working with Councilman Griffin and community residents to come up with a community arts plan. So when you drive through other neighborhoods, and some of those that are represented here from city council reps, there are all sorts of beautiful sculptures and murals and landscape parks, greenery, and our residents wanted the same thing here. So you heard the councilman talk about Elevate the East. That was the name of the engagement campaign, where we're talking about let's elevate the east side of Cleveland as far as public art is concerned to make a statement. And so this Black Lives Matter mural falls right in line with the community's interest in having public art in its area, and the community was able to say what types of public art they want to see, where they want to see it, and how it should look. So we are excited to support this, and we hope that this is the first of many public art installations in the neighborhood. Thank you.
A project like this couldn't get done without the residents. You see many of the residents that are here. These residents also designed the Elevate the East, and they also were here because it was really a very, they've been here every day watching and greeting residents and greeting people as they come in. But one of the key street club leaders that I do want to acknowledge is also, that's part of the steering committee, is Valerie McCall. She's not here, but Chief McCall works for Mayor Jackson's office, Chief of Governmental Affairs, and I want to acknowledge her because she was was also very instrumental in helping us pull this together. But another street club president who's been very active, very vocal, and has lived over here since 1969, that's going to speak on behalf of the residents to talk about how much this means to the residents and the gravity of this moment is Miss Myra Simmons. And Myra, I'm going to ask if you could join us.
Hi, I'm Myra Simmons. I've been living in this neighborhood since 1969. I started investing in this neighborhood ever since I was 14 years old. I've been invested in 93rd, East 93rd. I show an interest in East 93rd. I own 7 parcels in this area, and I completed them all before I turned 60. And I'm grateful for what was happening in this neighborhood today. It has been a missing triangle, and I don't know why. But now, since we got a councilman here that's willing to help us and get us motivated and show us that we are somebody, and this neighborhood is in Cleveland, and we want them to know it's in Cleveland. And we have plenty of land here in Cleveland for y'all to build on, for us to grow. For y'all, please come into our neighborhood and show us that we matters on East 93rd. And this art that they have here today, it's a beautiful thing. And I know it will go farther and go farther. If you guys just help us to do what we're trying to do here in this East 93rd area, we appreciate it.
Drop it down so we can see people.
Myra, thank you. That was fire. I appreciate that. That was great. I know that we have a couple of other residents that are here, but for time's sake, we're going to move on because I don't see a couple of the other speakers. I just want you to know that this Elevate the East project that we want to do with this artistic project, we already have a mural that Mr. Soul did right at Cheers Bar. I encourage everybody to see that. We want this to be like the most artistic corridor in the city of Cleveland. We want people to walk down this street and be and experience an artistic experience like they never had before. So that's what we're really trying to accomplish with the Elevate the East, and this is a heck of a platform in order to start that off. At this time, I'm going to bring up Pastor Chris Washburn. If Pastor Washburn from the Stone Church right here at East 93rd and Bessemer can talk to us about his next steps, and then I'll give us next steps.
Thank you, Councilman. The Stone Church, or Greater White Stone, has been in this neighborhood for some years, and we're grateful. I've actually grew up in this neighborhood as well, and so I'm really invested in it. As we look at this, and this teaches us we're in the moment here, and look at this movement, let's think about the message that we are giving here, and this is a message of faith, a message that we love. Not only Black lives matter, but we love all lives, and all souls are important. But we want to be considerate of what is happening in our communities and want to raise up. And so Sunday at 5 o'clock, we're going to have prayer. Because not only is this a great community, that is on the strive and that's elevating the East, we also need to know that we're a community of faith that has caused us to be resilient even when we've been forgotten about. But here we are, saying we here. We here, and this is a great community to invest in, great community to walk in, a great community to share in and love on. And so come on, let's be a part. So this Sunday at 5 o'clock, we're going to have prayer around this and go forth and just be able to pray for our communities, our city, this great city of Cleveland, as well as our country. God bless you.
Thanks, Pastor Washburn. Before I take any questions, I do want to take a moment to thank Mayor Jackson. Mayor Jackson, the police department, Commander Brandon Cutts, Chief Calvin Williams, and Director Mike Cox, and several other cities departments got together, and we pulled this together in a very fast period of time. I won't tell people how fast because they'll say we didn't know City Hall moved that fast. But we were able to pull it together, and it was only because all of us got together and just rallied around this moment, and we got it done. So that's what we do. We did it the East 93rd Street way. As I close, I just want to tell everybody that this means so much to us. This means so much to this community. We've lost several people over in this area. Even in the short time that I've been here, a mother has come and told me that she lost her son. We know that we've lost a precious child in Aliana DeFries on this corridor. We know that we lost 5 women and we still have not solved all of their murders. We know that we have police violence that we witnessed, and many of us are still traumatized for what we see. But in these dark times, this is a beacon of light. This is a shining light. And what we want to do is show the world that East 93rd is here. We invite you to come, like Myra said, to invest. We want you to come and be a part of this. And we want you to come and bring your families to experience this. Every day we assess how we're impacting and affecting the traffic flow, the businesses, and the residents. And so far, we haven't gotten a lot of complaints other than, you know, hey, we're okay, leave it closed, but, you know, just don't do it forever. But at the same time, we do support what you're doing. And like I said, the reason that I'm saying that is because of the tremendous sacrifice that the businesses and the residents have done in order to accommodate you. My good friend at Channel 8 Zoom, Scott, said, Cleveland, this is for you. And that's what we're doing today in East 93rd. Cleveland, this is for you. So please bring your families down here. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I'll take any questions at this time.
Why are you friends with Richard? We won't hold it against you.
We won't hold it against you. Yeah, he's a good, hey, Scott, some great pictures from Sky Fox. Even though they've been waking everybody up every morning, I do have to tell you that. That's the biggest complaint I've been getting, is that they wake up everybody. But they're great. Thank you. Yes, Harry.
How long is this project going to take from here to fruition? How long?
We've already started certain things. You have a lot of, you know, the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District had an artistic design that they put at Shaker and Woodhill. You have this Black Lives Matter mural, like I mentioned, the one with Mr. Soul. So you already have certain things that's coming up. We have about 50 actions that we have outlined in the Elevate the East report that we want to try to get investment and artistic expression in those 50 locations throughout the region, but it'll all be due to funding. Initial funding was provided through some of the council dollars that we have available, working closely with Burton Bell Carr, but I would tell you we've already started getting calls about people that say we want to adopt this area to do a mural, and it's going to be contingent upon us going and raising the dollars, and that's another reason why we're highlighting this area today.
If an artist wants to get involved in this project, how should they do so?
Call Burton Bell Carr, and what is the number, Joy?
341-1455.
216.
341-1455. And just, do you have a certain person, Sharita?
They should talk with Sharita or Dawn.
Sharita Mullins or Don
Mays.
Sharita Mullins or Don Mays. Okay? Any other questions anybody has for us? Any other questions? I'm gonna be like the teacher in school and start calling on people if that's the case. Oh, I didn't even see her over there with that pretty mask on. Our public art coordinator is here, Tara Petrus. So, Tara Seifler Petrus, so thank you. I mean, I just encourage you guys to just get the shots. It's a tremendous amount of energy. The energy and the vibes that we experienced last week and that we've experienced all this week is something that we haven't seen in a long time. So even though it's a very depressing time, even though it's a very traumatic time, I can tell you that this means so much for this community. So even if you can't be happy in this moment, be happy for East 93rd.
I got a question.
Thank you. Sure, Myra.
Blaine,
I got a question.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
You knew this was a missing triangle out here on 93rd. Can you please tell me what made you want to get involved in our neighborhood? And I know you didn't have to, but you did.
You know, and I'm glad you asked that question, Myra. Myra asked the question and said that this has been a missing triangle. This neighborhood often feels left behind. It often feels like it's been abandoned. The people in this neighborhood feel like they haven't been given the attention that they've been given. And I would tell you the reason that it's been important to me is because it's beautiful people over here. When you walk up and down these streets, I can tell you that it's been people that's been living here, like Miss McKellar, who's here. I don't want to start calling names. Miss Marilyn, who's just a champion for people. Sherelle Hardy, who's not here today. Klaus and Barbara. I can go on and on. You know, Miss Abrams, Doc. Chris. I mean, I don't want to miss anybody, but this area has some beautiful people. And a lot of times, all people hear about the negative of Cleveland, but I can tell you that there's people here that chose to be here, that made the investment to be here. They got enough money that they could have left, but they chose to be here. And as long as I have breath in my lungs, I'm going to fight for you and this community and everybody else.
And we thank you, Blaine.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Please bring your families down. Please come back down this weekend. Thank you. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.